Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's story is one of those unbelievable moments where kindness, something small and simple, ends up changing a life forever. It's about a single dad, a lost boy, a sick grandmother, and a mysterious black SUV that showed up the next morning. And nothing was ever the same after that. It was a cold evening when Daniel Harper finally locked the door of the small auto repair shop where he worked. The shop lights flickered off one by one, leaving only the orange glow of the street lamps outside. Daniel wiped the grease from his hands with an old rag and sighed. Life hadn't been easy since his wife passed away 3 years earlier. Now it was just him and his 6-year-old daughter, Lily. Every day was a balancing act. Work, school pickups, cooking dinner, paying bills. But Daniel never complained. Lily was his entire world. That night, the wind howled through the quiet streets as Daniel and Lily walked home. Their small rented house sat at the end of a quiet road, paint slightly faded, porch light buzzing faintly. As they approached the gate, Daniel noticed something unusual. 2 figures were sitting on the curb. At first, he thought they were just neighbors waiting for a ride. But as he stepped closer, he realized it was a young boy, maybe 8 or 9 years old, sitting beside an elderly woman wrapped in a thin coat. The boy looked up nervously. "Sir, is there a hospital nearby?" Daniel's heart dropped a little. The old woman looked pale. Her breathing was slow and shaky. "What happened?" Daniel asked gently. The boy hesitated. "We were on a bus. Grandma got sick. We got off, but we don't know where we are." Lily peeked from behind her dad, eyes wide with concern. Daniel looked down the empty street. The nearest hospital was miles away, and the buses had stopped running for the night. He could have called someone and walked away, but he didn't. "Come inside," Daniel said quietly. "It's warm. We'll figure this out." The boy looked shocked, like he wasn't used to hearing kindness from strangers. Inside the house, Lily quickly brought a blanket, while Daniel helped the elderly woman sit on the couch. He made tea, warmed up some soup, and checked her temperature the best he could. The boy finally introduced himself as Noah. "This is my grandma Rose," he said softly. Rose smiled weakly. "I'm sorry to trouble you." "You're not troubling anyone," Daniel replied. The small house suddenly felt fuller than usual. Lily happily shared her toys with Noah while Daniel kept checking on Rose throughout the night. Eventually Daniel set up the couch for Rose and made a small bed for Noah using blankets. Before going to sleep, Noah asked quietly, "Why are you helping us?" Daniel paused for a moment. Then he smiled gently. "Because sometimes people just need someone to stop and care." That night, for the first time in a long while, the house didn't feel lonely. Morning came slowly. Sunlight crept through the kitchen window while Daniel cooked eggs for everyone. Lily and Noah were laughing at the table like they had known each other forever. But Rose still looked weak. Daniel had already decided he would drive them to a clinic after breakfast. That's when they heard it. A low engine rumbling outside the house. Daniel frowned and looked out the window. Parked in front of the small home was a long, glossy black SUV. 2 more vehicles pulled up behind it. Men in suits stepped out. Daniel's first thought was that they were at the wrong address. But then one of the men walked straight toward the house. A firm knock echoed on the door. Daniel opened it cautiously. "Can I help you?" The man adjusted his tie and glanced inside the house. "Sir, we're looking for a woman named Rose Whitmore." Inside the living room, the elderly woman froze. Daniel turned slowly. The man's serious expression softened with visible relief. "Oh, thank goodness. We found you." Within seconds, the quiet street turned into a scene Daniel never could have imagined. More suited men approached, one carrying medical equipment. Another spoke urgently into a phone. Noah looked confused. "Grandma, what's going on?" Rose sighed, like someone who had been hiding a secret for a very long time. The man at the door turned back to Daniel. "Sir, you have no idea what you've done." Daniel frowned. "I just let them stay the night." The man shook his head. "No, you saved someone very important." It turned out, Rose Whitmore wasn't just an ordinary grandmother. She was the mother of Victor Whitmore. And Victor Whitmore was one of the most powerful businessmen in the entire country. The family had been searching for her all night. She had secretly taken a trip with Noah without informing the security team, hoping to spend a normal day away from the attention and wealth. But when she suddenly became ill and got off the bus, they lost contact. By midnight, the Whitmore family had launched a massive search. Hospitals, police stations, transportation companies, everywhere. And now, they had finally found her. In Daniel's tiny living room, doctors carefully checked Rose while another man explained everything. Daniel stood there stunned. Lily whispered, "Daddy, are they famous?" Daniel whispered back, "I think they're rich. Very rich." Within minutes, another vehicle arrived. A tall man stepped out. His presence alone made the entire team straighten instantly. Victor Whitmore. His expensive coat moved slightly in the wind as he walked toward the house with urgency in his eyes. The moment he entered, Noah ran to him. "Dad." Victor knelt and hugged his son tightly. "I've been looking everywhere for you." Then he looked at his mother, relief washing over his face. "Mom, you scared me." Rose gave a tired smile. "I just wanted a normal day." Victor laughed softly, but then turned to Daniel. For a long moment, he studied the small house. the simple furniture, the breakfast still sitting on the table. You took them in, Victor asked. Daniel nodded, awkwardly. They just needed help. Victor looked around again. Something in his expression changed. Gratitude. Real gratitude. You had no idea who they were, Victor said. No, Daniel replied honestly. And you helped anyway. Daniel shrugged. I'd hoped someone would do the same for my kid. For a few seconds, the room went quiet. Then Victor did something no one expected. He extended his hand. Thank you. Later that morning, doctors decided Rose needed to be taken to a private hospital for observation. Before leaving, Noah ran back inside the house. He hugged Lily tightly. Thank you for letting me play with your toys. Lily smiled. You can come back. Victor watched the interaction carefully. Then he turned to Daniel again. Can we talk? They stepped outside near the porch. Victor looked at the worn wood of the railing and the small garden Lily had planted. You're raising her alone? Victor asked. Daniel nodded. Yeah. Victor was quiet for a moment. You know, a lot of people claim to be good, but when no one's watching, they walk away. Daniel chuckled lightly. I almost did walk away. I was tired, but you didn't. Victor reached into his pocket and handed Daniel a business card. Come see me tomorrow. Daniel looked confused. For what? Victor smiled slightly. I think a man like you deserves more than just a thank you. Daniel didn't think much about it after they left. Life went back to normal. Work, school, bills. But the next morning something unexpected happened. Another black SUV pulled up outside the repair shop. Daniel's coworkers stared. Dude, what did you do? A man stepped out and approached Daniel. Mr. Harper, Mr. Whitmore is expecting you. Daniel blinked. And just like that, he found himself standing inside one of the largest office buildings he had ever seen. Floor-to-ceiling windows, marble floors, people rushing everywhere. Victor Whitmore greeted him personally. I'm glad you came. Daniel shifted awkwardly in his work jacket. You said you wanted to talk. Victor nodded. I did. He walked to the window overlooking the entire city. My company employs thousands of people, Victor said, and yet finding someone I can actually trust. That's rare. Daniel wasn't sure where the conversation was going. Victor turned. My mother told me everything. How you stayed up all night checking on her. How your daughter shared everything she had. Daniel smiled slightly. Lily would have been mad if I didn't help. Victor laughed. Then his expression grew serious. I want to offer you a job. Daniel blinked. A job? Yes. Daniel scratched his head. I fix cars. Victor nodded. And I just bought an automotive technology division last month. Daniel stared in disbelief. Victor continued. I need someone honest, running the operations floor. Someone who understands hard work. Not someone who grew up in boardrooms. Daniel was speechless. This would change your life, Victor added calmly. Daniel thought about Lily. Their small house. The bills stacked on the kitchen counter. Why me? Daniel asked quietly. Victor gave a simple answer. Because when my family needed help, you didn't ask who we were. There was a long pause. Then Daniel slowly nodded. And that decision changed everything. Months passed. Daniel's life transformed in ways he never imagined. A better home. Better school for Lily. Stability. But the most surprising part wasn't the money. It was that Victor kept his word. They became friends. Noah and Lily visited each other often. Rose recovered and loved spending afternoons telling stories to both kids. One evening during dinner, Lily asked something that made everyone laugh. Dad, if we didn't help them that night, would the black SUVs still come? Daniel smiled. Nope. Noah grinned. Then I'm glad we got lost. Victor raised his glass slightly. To kindness, he said. Daniel nodded. Yeah, because sometimes the smallest decisions, stopping to help, opening your door, can change your entire life overnight. And sometimes, the sound of a black SUV pulling up outside your house isn't the beginning of trouble, it's the beginning of a miracle, and that's the story. For today, if this story touched your heart even a little, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel for more powerful stories like this, because you never know, the next act of kindness might be the one that changes everything.